screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir, we can
visible.
see it.
Okay, fine. So we have 84 participants. We will start. Okay, so later on when any others join, so let them continue. Let them be there at listening to the lecture. Okay, so shall we start? So now we have 85, so we shall start. Okay, so I will start recording. Okay, now what you can see, whether you can see a camera app and PPT side by side.
Yes, sir, it's both side by side.
Okay, so today we will be solving some numericals. So as I have told you earlier, I have connected an external webcam which directly focuses into a document. Okay, so I will be writing a document at the same time the video gets captured. Okay, so that you can even see, right, how to draw the cash flow diagram as well as how to solve a numerical. Okay, at the same time you have a question on the other side also. Okay, so if there is any technical issues later on during presentation, please let me know. Okay, so that I can again reconnect it. Okay, so shall we start? Fine. So in the previous class, we have started with single payment series amount, single payment. We have started with cash flow diagram basically. Then we moved on to single payment compound amount factor. I guess we have solved only one numerical in this single payment series compound amount factor. Okay. So today we will be solving the other type, that is single payment series present worth, and you have some practice problems that I will anyhow share this PPT, so later on you can calculate or analyze the question. Okay, so once after these contents, we will be moving on to the next factors. Okay, that is nothing but calculation of annuity. Okay, calculating the future value for the annuity. Okay, so all these components we will be studying in this class. Okay, so this we have done. Okay, so as I have already told you that there are two types of interest factors. One is nothing but compound amount factor, which basically deals with only one payment, and if we have to calculate the value of that amount or the payment for a certain future value, right? So in that case, we call such interest rates or such cash flow diagram or the payment, we call it as a compound amount factor, right? So in compound amount factor, there will be only one payment or deposit throughout the time frame, and we are going to calculate its future value. Or it can be the other way around. Knowing the future value, we will be calculating its single deposit. Okay, how much amount I have to deposit now so that I can get some desired value after 5 years or 10 years. So that factor is also called as compound amount factor. Okay, so this is one compound amount factor, and the other one is nothing but the annuity factor. So annuity factor, as I have told you, there are three characteristics for annuity, right? So in annuity, the first characteristic is the first payment usually occurs at the end of first year. So 0 year always we consider as the current year, right? So first deposit will start at the end of first year. So at 1 you will have one deposit. Okay, so that is the first characteristic. Second characteristic is there will be continuous, or there will be a recurring amount, right, at the regular intervals of time. So that is the second characteristic. So if the first payment is at the end of first year, then the second payment would be at the end of second year, and the third payment would be at the end of third year, and it process continuous, or the deposit or the payment continues up to 10 years or 15 years. Okay, so that will be the second characteristics. And the third characteristic is the time interval, okay, or the value between the deposit should be same, right? Say for example, if I deposit 1000 rupees at the end of first year, so you will have 1000 rupees in the first year, right? Second year again I should deposit 1000 rupees. Third year also I will be depositing 1000. At the end of fifth year also I will be depositing 1000. So in those cases, the payments or the deposit value is equal, that is 1000 rupees. So such factor is the third characteristic. So that factor we call it as annuity factor. Suppose if my deposit value is not equal, okay, then we do not say that the factor is annuity, right? So in that case, we have to use some combinations of single payment as well as the annuity to resolve the cash flow. Anyhow, if you don't remember these two factors, also fine. This I have told you earlier also, right? But only thing is here we need to know the 6 different formulas, 6 plus 1 different formulas of relating to the compound interest, okay, and the application part of it. Only if you know that, then it will be easy, okay. So this is called as the compound amount factor, right? As you can see from this cash flow, you have only one single payment, right? That's nothing but the value of P, and you are going to calculate the future value at the end of nth year. Okay, I'll just go with. Okay, I don't have a pointer here. Okay, fine. So here you have to calculate the future value, that is F, right, for the given P or for the given initial deposit at the end of 0th year or in the current year. Okay, so if I want to know the value of P, okay, after n years, I will be using this equation, that is F is equal to P into 1 plus I whole to the power n. Okay, so that will give me the future value of the present deposit. Okay, so as I have told you, this factor, that is P into F by P I comma n, something I have written it here. Okay, so F by P I comma n is nothing but single payment compound amount factor. Okay, so these factors are called as the single payment compound amount factor, that is F by P I comma n, and this value we can directly get from the compound interest equation, compound interest table, not equation, compound interest table. So
Sir, you're inaudible. Your voice has cut out.
students, is it audible? Whether any problems here? Whether you can see the camera app as well as the slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this numerical, I guess we have solved, right? A person deposits a sum of rupees 50,000 at an interest rate of 15% compounded annually for a period of 10 years. Find the maturity value after 10 years. So whether we have solved this numerical?
Yes, sir.
Yes, fine. So here in this case, we need to know what is the value of this 50,000 after 10 years. Okay. So accordingly, a cash flow diagram is drawn where you have 50,000 rupees which a person is depositing today. Okay. And you are going to calculate the value of that 50,000 after 10 years. Okay. So you have the value of P, that is 50,000, interest rate is 15%, N is nothing but 10 years. Okay, so using the formula F is equal to P into 1 plus I whole to the power N, we will get the future value of this 50,000 rupees. Okay, so you might have got 2,61,691.70 as the future value. So that means if I deposit 50,000 today, I will be getting 2,61,691.78 rupees at the end of 10th year. Okay, so this is nothing but the future value of the initial deposit. So here again in the slide you can see that I have taken the value from compound interest table, and again I have calculated like f is equal to p into 1 p into f by p I comma n. Okay, so f by p I is 18 and n is 10, so that value has been directly taken from compound interest table and its value is 5.234. Okay, so you will be getting 2,61,700. So there will be a difference, so that difference we usually accept. Okay, because probably the values which compound interest table might have calculated, so that will be different, probably the reference which they have done, so that will be different. So the values, if there is any difference between your formula as well as the compound interest table, okay, so we accept it. Okay, so in your exam also, okay, I don't tell you to calculate in both the ways, through formula as well as the interest factor. Any one is sufficient. If you are thorough in the formula, use formula. Okay, if you can easily go with compound interest table, right, you can go with compound interest table also. Okay, so I don't tell you how to only go with formula. Okay, so you can do any of these two types. Okay, so I hope you have the compound interest table. Students, you have compound interest table. Have you downloaded it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those who have not downloaded, please download it. Okay. So I will tell you how to look the value for this. Okay. So I have the compound interest table. Okay. Hello. Hello, students. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, fine. So, can you see the screen? Whether you can see the compound interest table?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a compound interest table. Okay. So please go to the interest factor table where you have n is equal to 15, right? N is equal to I is equal to 18. So here you have all the interest values or the interest rate. So first page it is 560 in here in my case. So it is 1 by 4. Okay, 1 by 4%. Okay, so likewise you have 1/2%. Then you have 3/4%. Okay, 1%. So these are nothing but the interest rate. So likewise for this numerical, we have to go to that interest rate, which is where you can find 18% is the interest rate which is given for this numerical. Okay, so this is that interest rate, 18% you can see here. Okay, students, can you are you following me?
Sir, it's 15% in the question.
Which one? Oh, 15%, no? Okay, so here I guess they have solved it for 18%. Okay, so if it is 15%, you go to 15% interest rate table, this one. Okay, so this is 15% interest rate table. So we need to find out F by P. So we need to calculate the future value of the present deposit, correct? So here, one thing you have to remember that when you write this nomenclature or the factor, that is F by P I comma N, right? Always the one which we need to calculate, right? The factor which we need to calculate will always be on the numerator, right? So f divided by p, where f is nothing but the numerator and p is nothing but the denominator. Okay, so the factor which we want to calculate will always be on the numerator. Okay, so that is f, where p or the principal deposit or the principal amount is given. Okay, so the value which is already given in the question, so that will be written in the denominator. So here also f by p, so f is nothing but which we calculate, and you can see the first column, right? It has been written compound amount factor. Okay, find f given p, that is f divided by p. Okay, students, can you see that column? The not the first column, the second column, right? First column is nothing but n. Okay, second column is f by p.
Yes, sir.
Yes, fine. So we want the value after 10 years, right? So n is equal to 10. So with this column f by p, by taking n is equal to 10, that is this value, n is equal to 10. Okay, the value I get is 4.046, right? Under f by p, corresponding to value n is equal to 10, I will be getting the compound amount factor to be 4.046 for n is I is equal to 15%. Okay, so this 4.046, you will be multiplying it with the principal deposit, that is 50,000, right? This 4.046, you will be multiplying it with this 50,000, which is nothing but the initial deposit or the principal deposit. Okay, so that total amount will give you the future value at the end of 10th year. Okay, any confusion here? Whether you can identify whether any difficulty here? Students, any problem?
No,
Any
sir.
difficulty? No. Okay. So I guess now all have followed with this compound interest table. Okay. So shall we move on to the next? Any confusion? Any doubts here? Okay. So I don't think there is any doubt. So we shall move on to the next question.
So for
Yeah, tell
f
me.
will directly multiply p by this given rate 4.04. Hello.
P by hello, tell me.
So we'll directly multiply 4.046 into 50,000. That would be our answer. Or 1 plus 4.04.
No. Directly, see 50,000 into 4.046. Hello.
Sir, then why should there be any difference in the answer? Because after all, we are doing the same thing, even if we use the formula, and they've calculated a factor using the same formula as us. So why is there a difference in our answers?
No, we don't know whether they have used the same formula and calculated. Right? Probably this f by p 18% for a period of 10 years. Right? All these values they might have taken from some other source. They might have taken from some other logic.
But for a single payment compound amount, p times 1 plus I raised to n, isn't that the standard formula? I mean, we've been learning that since like seventh or eighth.
Yeah, correct. That is correct. That is the common or the general compound interest formula. But for preparing the tables, they might have considered some other references, or that they might have considered some other source to get the values.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So here in this case, there will be difference in most of the cases, but from the point of examination, we will consider it. Okay. But you have to mention from whether you have taken from the table or whether you have taken it, whether you are using the formulas. Okay. So step by step, if you write, we can analyze it correctly. Okay, so usually we can identify from your analysis part. Okay, but in some cases, in a hurry, you may skip one or two lines or the formula itself. In that case, you have to see whether you will be writing it, whether you are writing the factors correctly. Okay, fine. Any other doubts here? Fine. So we'll move on to the next question. Okay. So the next question is, how much money will be accumulated in 25 years if rupees 800 is deposited 1 year from now, 2,400 rupees 6 years from now, and 3,300 rupees 8 years from now, all at an interest rate of 18% per annum. Okay. Students, can you see the question? Whether the font size is small? Students, can you see the question? Okay. So, how much money will be accumulated in 25 years if rupees 800 is deposited 1 year from now, 2,400 rupees 6 years from now, and 3,300 8 years from now, all at an interest rate of 18% per year. Now, how we are going to do it? So I have the camera open. Okay. So I will draw it here. So if the image is not clear, you please let me know. Okay. So what would be the time frame here? 25 years, right? So I will draw a horizontal line, right? So it will be from 0 to 25. Okay. So this is my time frame. Okay, so I will be again marking the divisions 1, 2, 3. Wherever you have the payment, okay, that only those things you can draw. So I have a payment at 1 year. Okay, so I have drawn 1 year, then 6 years and 8 years. So this is 3. Okay, 4. Then you have 6. You have 8 up to 25. Okay, so I have a payment 1 year from now. So here I have $800 or rupees 1 year from now. Then 2,400 rupees 6 years from now. So 6 now is nothing but current year. So 6 years in the sense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this will be my second deposit, that is 2,400. Okay. Then I have 3,300 8 years from now. So here again I have one more value, that is 3,300. So this is nothing but first year, this is 6th year, and this will be 8th year. Okay. So interest rate, they have given it as 18%. Okay. we need to know how much value I will get at the end of 25th year. So here, okay. So I will draw a line because I may withdraw that amount after 25 years. So F25. So what is this value? Okay, any difficulty in drawing the cash flow diagram here? Students, if there is any difficulty, if you cannot hear, please let me know. Okay, there might be some lag. Okay, everything is fine till now?
Yes, sir, everything is fine.
Okay, fine, good. So we need to calculate the value at the end of 25th year. Okay, so how we are going to do is, so I will first go with this 800. So F800 is nothing but the future value of this 800, okay, after 25th year. So you can even write it as F1, okay, or F1. So for your identification or for understanding, you may represent any value. So this indicates that the future value of the amount at the first year. Okay, so how we are going to do? So this will be the value of P now. So that is 800. Okay, and if you are going to use the equation 1 plus I is nothing but 0.18, okay, to the power n. So what is the value of n here for 800? Anyone? 24, correct. So what you have to do is, when you are in the first year, so you have to just count the number of steps you need to go to reach 25. So from 2, the steps will start 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 25. So that will be 24. Okay, so you will get some value. What is that value you have got? Some value you will get. Okay, then you take this value, future value of this 2400, which is happening at the year 6. Okay, F6 I have written. Okay, so again that will be a single payment because you have only one payment, that is of 2400 throughout the time frame. Okay, so 2400, again 1 plus 0.18. Now how many steps you have to go to reach 25? Yeah, you are at 6.
19.
19. Okay, so 19 steps you need to go to reach 25. Okay, so you will be getting some value. So 2400 into 1.18 to the power 19. So you will be getting some value here. Again, you have one more payment at the end of 8th year. So F8, the value of the payment is 3300 into 1 plus 0.18, right, to the power n. So what is the value of n? How many steps? Value of n is nothing but how many steps we need to go to reach 25? 17. Okay, so you will get some value here. Okay, now F25 is nothing but sum of your F1 plus F6 plus F8. So this total value will give me the value of this cash flow. Yeah, any confusion here? Students, any confusion? Okay, so this is using the formula. You may even go with the compound interest table also. Okay, so I guess I have written that in the slide. I will show the slide for that. Okay, so this is the cash flow diagram. Okay, so you have first deposit at the end of 800, second deposit that is 6 years from now, that is 2400 at the end of 6th year, right? And 3300 at the end of 8th year. Okay, so 18% is the interest rate. Okay, 25th year we want to know the value. Okay, so yeah, so I have the compound interest values for each of these deposits. Okay, so here in this case, in one shot, in one single attempt, the entire cash flow has been resolved. Okay, so either you can go with step by step, or you can go like the one which I have displayed it on the PPT. Okay, in one shot you can resolve the entire cash flow. So that is also can be done. That can also be done. Okay, so here future value at the end of 25th year. So here they have represented as F equal to 800 into F by P, 18% for a period of 24. Okay, so when you refer interest factor table, okay, I will show the interest factor table again. So for 18%, okay, so this is 15, this is 18%. So 18% for a period of 24. So 24 is 53.109. 53.109 is the value. Okay, so here you can see 53.109 for F by P. Okay, I have highlighted it with yellow. Then for the next one again, N is equal to 19. Okay, so this is 18% interest rate. So N is equal to 19 falls here. So it is 23.214. Okay, you can see in the PPT also it has been written. Okay, then next is 17. It is 16.672. Okay, so these values you just have to multiply with the deposit values. Okay, so when you add it, you will get the final answer. Okay, any confusion here?
Sir, for our reference, what is an acceptable error difference between the two answers?
No, yeah, in some cases it will be 50 rupees, in some cases 100, but acceptable in the sense, in those cases what we generally see is whether you have used the right nomenclature, right? So when the question is given, first we will see whether you have written the equation correctly. Okay, then we will see whether you have used the right compound interest values, say whether you have written F by P or whether you have wrongly written, instead of F by P you might have written P by F in a hurry. Okay, so all those factors we generally see. Once if those factors are correct, then we will avoid you the marks. Okay, because in some cases we cannot say there is some acceptable limit here, because it depends upon these factors. No, in some cases there will be 50 rupees difference also. In some cases there will be around 300 to 400 also. Okay, but if there is a difference, we will again go back to your cash flow diagram, see what values you have taken, right? If your deposit values, interest rate, N values, and the value which you have taken, that's compound interest value which you have taken is correct, that means your entire numerical is correct. Okay, so we will again go back and then we check for all these things. Okay, so no need to worry here. Only thing is you have to write the appropriate formula as well as the values corresponding to the interest rate. If that is correct, then there won't be any problem, I guess. Okay, so anyhow you will be using the calculator to solve it. Okay, so you have to check, right, whether you have typed the right values in the calculator.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So any doubts here? So some value, what is the value? 1,53,220 you will get using interest factor table. What is the value for this? Same answer you will get. Students, whether you are getting the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, if you are getting the same answer, then it is well and good. 15,3,220. Right. So this is the value again. So any one type you can follow. Okay. Fine. So we'll move on to the next numerical again. Okay. So yeah. So this is the next type. That is single payment present worth amount. Okay. So till now we have calculated the future value of the deposit or the initial deposit. Okay. Here in this single payment present worth amount, this is nothing but the second factor. Okay. So here we will be calculating the deposit value, right? When the future value is known. Say for example, I want to have say 10,000 rupees after, say I want to have say 50,000 rupees after 2 years. Okay. So after 2 years, I should have 50,000 rupees in my account. So in order to get that 50,000, how much amount I have to deposit now? That is the question. Okay. If I want to get 50,000, how much amount I should deposit now so that I will get 50,000 after 2 years? So in that case, knowing the future value, that is 50,000, knowing the value of n, that is 2, that is after 2 years, that's why n is equal to 2, and the interest rate which the bank or financial institution gives, say 7%. Okay, knowing these three values, I can find out the value for this initial deposit or the value which I have to do it today or in the current year. Okay, so for that cases or in those cases we will be using this equation, that is P is equal to F divided by 1 plus I whole to the power n. Okay, so this equation we will be using to calculate the present value of your future deposit. Okay, so the same equation, the general compound interest equation, but the factor which we are going to calculate is different. Okay, so we have just rearranged it. Instead of F earlier, we are going to calculate it for P. So again, your formula becomes F divided by 1 plus I whole to the power n. Okay, so nomenclature, in the case of nomenclature, or if you want to write the entire thing from the point of the factor, okay, so it can be F into P by F I comma n. Okay, so P by F I comma n here in this case is called as single payment present worth factor. When we say present worth, so it means the value at time 0. Okay, so value in the current year is always called as the present worth or the present value. Okay, so this is nothing but the cash flow diagram for the single payment present worth factor, and you have the formula also, that is P is equal to F divided by 1 plus I whole to the power n. Okay, symbolically it can be written as F into P by F I comma n, where F by P I comma n, that value you can directly get from the compound interest table. Okay, so we'll go with some numericals here. Okay, so here a person wishes to have a sum of rupees 50,000 to purchase a car 10 years from now. If he plans to deposit a lump sum amount which will fetch an interest at a rate of 6% per annum, determine the sum. Okay, so I will show the solution to this through the slides only, because we are having lot of time, right? So I will just, and it is similar to the previous also, so I will show it to the slides only. So any doubts when you have, if you have, you can just let me know. So a person wishes to have a sum of rupees 50,000 to purchase a car after 10 years from now. So that means 50,000 he wants to know, or he wants to
So
get
it's 5 lakh.
after, sorry, not 50,000, 5 lakhs, sorry. Yeah. So the person wants to know 5 lakhs, person wants to have 5 lakhs after 10 years. Okay, not 50,000. So it is 5 lakhs after 10 years. So how much amount he has to deposit now, so that after 10 years he will be getting 5 lakhs rupees. Okay, so the bank gives 6% interest rate. Okay, so
Sir, 2.8 lakhs.
2.8 lakhs. Okay, fine. So here in this case, we know the future value, that is 5 lakhs. Interest rate is 6% per annum, and is nothing but 10 years, because I want that value of in 10 years, right, or at the end of 10th year, right? So this will be the cash flow diagram for this numerical. Okay, using the formula as well as the interest table, you will be getting 2,79,197. Okay, so the answer will be 2,79,197. Okay, so substituting all the values, that is f, interest rate, n is equal to 10, we will be getting 2,79,179 rupees. Okay, if you are using compound interest table, you will be getting 2,79,200. Okay, so 3 rupees extra. So that is acceptable anyhow. Okay, so from this we can infer that the value to get 5 lakh rupees after 10 years will be the value which I have to deposit is 2,79,197, right? If I deposit that amount today, I will get 5 lakh rupees after 10 years, provided the bank gives 6% interest rate. Okay, any confusion, any doubt here? Any confusion, students? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Fine. So shall we move on to the next?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, fine. Okay. Next numerical. What is the present worth of rupees 7,000 now, rupees 15,000 4 years from now, and rupees 9,000 6 years from now at an interest rate of 8% per annum? Okay, again I will repeat the question. What is the present worth of rupees 7,000 now, rupees 15,000 4 years from now, and rupees 9,000 6 years from now at an interest rate of 8% per annum? So here in this case, so again the cash flow diagram will look like, so this is my time frame. Okay, so total number of years is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so 6 years time frame I have drawn. Okay, we need to calculate the value or present worth or value at time 0 for the deposit of 7,000 now. So now in the sense current year, so here you will be depositing 7,000 rupees. Okay, then after 4 years you will be depositing 15,000 rupees after 4 years from now, in the sense 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here you will be depositing 15,000 rupees. Okay, and 9,000 rupees 6 years from now. 6 years from now again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So here again you will be depositing 9,000. No, so this value can be little less. Okay, so this is 9,000. Okay, you have 7,000, 15,000 and 9,000. Interest rate is 8%. 8% is the interest. Okay, so this is the cash flow diagram here. Okay, so here also it has been given. Okay, so here they have represented it with an upward arrow. Okay, so here in this question, there is no withdrawal or there is no what we can say withdrawal or receipt. Okay, so you can either draw it downward arrow and upward arrow. Okay, because we have only one part of the question, one part in the sense only on one side. Okay, so here in the PPT they have given it with an upward arrow. Okay, does not make any problem for us. Okay, so either you can go with the downward arrow as given here, or you can go with the slide also where they have written it with an upward arrow. Okay, now so this is the 0th year. We want to know what will be the value here. Okay, so this value we need to calculate, that is P. Okay, so I may write it with an upward arrow. Okay, or I may even go with an downward arrow. That is does not make any problem in this case. Okay, so how we are going to do? So tell me what will be the value at 0th year. So I will be writing it step by step instead of writing one single equation. Okay, so what will be the present worth of 7,000?
7,000.
7,000 only, or whether any interest factor will be added to this?
No.
No. Okay, so present worth, since it is already in the 0th year, this 7,000 is already in the 0th year, there is no interest added to this. Okay, so the present value of 7,000 at year 0 is 7,000 only. Okay, so this will be P0 equal to 7,000. Now P4 is nothing but 15,000. What is the present value of this 15,000? That is 15,000. Since it is after 4 years, so in order to bring this 15,000 from 4th year to 0th year, there will be an interest rate charge, that is 8%. Okay, so P by F, I will use the symbolic representation of formula, that is P by F. Interest rate is 8%, and I have to go by 1, 2, 3 and 4 steps to reach 0. Okay, if you are using the formula, it will be P divided by 1 plus I to the power 4. Okay, so some value you will get here. What is the value? Whether you have calculated?
1,428.
1,428. Okay. Then similarly, P6, you have this 9,000. Okay. So P by F, interest rate is 8%. Now I have to go by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 steps. Okay. So to reach 0. So what will be the value here? Okay, some value you will get. So ultimately what you will do, you will write present worth will be your P0 plus P4 plus P6.
Sir,
Yeah.
so after 4, like So basically, what this means is that if we invest this much, P0 plus P4 plus P6 now, then after 4
Yeah.
years we'll have 15,000. That's what it means, right?
Yeah, correct.
But then after 6 years, why will it reduce to 9,000? Because there's no other withdrawal or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
So,
this does.
no, here see again, if I want to infer from this, okay, so the present value, right? If I deposit 7,000 now, if I deposit 15,000 after 4 years, and if I deposit 9,000 after 6 years, right? Its value as on today is this value, right? Whatever you get here. What's the value here?
Sir, actually, I'm confused because in the question, in the slide, the cash flow diagram is exactly opposite of what you've drawn, right? Because here, what in the slide, it's saying that we are investing some amount today, and that has to be worth 7,000 today, 15,000 4 years from now, and 9,000 6 years
Correct.
from now. But what
Yeah,
you are
correct.
saying is that we are investing 7,000, and then we need to find how much it will be worth.
Yeah, correct, correct. So here in this case, that's what I said. Here in this case, uh, there is only one type. The one type in the sense either you can consider it to be an investment or you can consider it to be a return. Okay. So here either you can go with an upward arrow or you can go with the downward arrow. But when you have both upward arrow as a downward arrow, both in one cash flow diagram, that is nothing but the cost as well as the receipt. Then you have to be very careful.
So you're basically saying it's three separate investments in the same like zeroth year.
Yeah, I have drawn it three separate investment. Here in the PPT, we have displayed it like the three separate returns we will be getting from the investment which you are going to do now.
But then, sir, both of these are different questions, right? What exactly is the question saying?
So here, see, that is what I said. So here, we just have to know the present value. What is the total value of these three deposits? Okay. So it can be downward arrow also if since they have not mentioned any deposit or a withdrawal or whether they are going to invest it or whether they are going to get as the receipt, so that they have not mentioned it here, right? Here they have just told what is the present worth of these three amounts which are occurring at year 0, year 4 and year 6. Any confusion here?
Sir, P4 won't be 1,428, it will be 11,025.
11,025. This one. Okay, 11,025. Okay, the equation, everything is the same here. So you can see the slides now. There is no change in your equation, right? Only the arrows have been written it upward. So here in this case, they have not mentioned anything about investment or return. Okay, I have considered it to be an investment. That means I will be depositing 7,000 now, 15,000 4 years from now, and 9,000 6 years from now. Okay, I want to know what is the total consolidated present worth of all these three deposits. Okay, so that is according to that I have drawn my cash flow diagram in the document, in this sheet. Okay, whereas in the slides, the cash flow diagram has been drawn that if a person is investing or if a person want to invest, right? So how much he wants to again withdraw 7,000 at time 0, 4th year he wants to withdraw 15,000, and at the end of 6th year he wants to get 9,000. Okay, so if these three are nothing but the withdrawal amount, how much amount he have to deposit? Okay, so that is what they have considered in the PPT. So either you can go with the downward arrow or you can go with an upward arrow here in this case, because they have not mentioned whether there is an investment or the company is getting the receipt. Okay, any confusion here? Students, any confusion?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So all of you are getting these values 23,697. Or if you are using formulas, probably the value may change. Okay. So what is the value? Whether you have used formula to calculate it?
Yes, sir. Same amount we are getting.
Same amount. Okay, then there is no problem. So you have 23,697. Okay. So this is the second numerical. Okay, so this practice problem you can try it out later. Okay, I will.
Sir, I'm sorry, this is still not clear to me. So, like, does this mean that if we deposit 23,697 now, or no? See, it does not make sense because if there's an 8% rate of interest, that means this 23,000 odd should grow, right?
Yeah, correct.
So, what are we saying? Like, if we deposit 23,000 now, we will be getting nine. No, I mean, I'm unable to make sense of it, sir.
Okay, so here,
It
see,
is
this
growing
23.
only, right? If we add 7,000, 15,000 and 9,000, it will be greater than 23,000, that principal amount that we are investing now.
See here, we will be calculating the value of these three deposits at time 0. Okay, so say for example, I want to have, say, considering your PPT only. Okay, so with reference to the PPT, I want to make 3 withdrawals. Okay, so I will be doing the withdrawal in the current year, that is 7,000. Okay, so I will be withdrawing, say, 15,000 after 4 years. Okay, then again at the end of 6th year I will be withdrawing 9,000 rupees. So if I want to withdraw in these 3 installments, how much amount I have to deposit now? Okay, so we calculated it and we found that the principal amount is 23,697. So if I deposit 23,697 amount all together in the deposit now or in the current year, I can withdraw 7,000 now immediately. Okay, then I can withdraw 15,000 after 4 years and I can withdraw 9,000 after 6 years. So that is the inference. Provided the interest rate is 8%.
Yes, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, just one more thing. But why are we adding it? Because, like you just said, that we were making withdrawals. So to understand that how much amount you have to put in to get 15,000 4 years from now. So we have to find them individually. But why are we adding it up then?
Ultimately, we should know what is the single deposit. Here we are not going to see what is the multiple or how much deposit we have to do at the regular intervals. Here we have to know what is that single deposit which we want to have, okay, or which we want to do at the time 0.
Okay.
So that is why we are adding
clear,
it.
Sir. Yeah, clear.
Okay.
Clear. Yes.
Yeah. So this is one thing. Okay. So usually when we have regular class, we can interact there, but here when it comes to online, right, I don't know how you people can follow or how you are going to follow it. Okay, but we are trying our level best to make you people understand. Okay, because we don't have control over it here, right? So if it is a theory, if it is a classroom, then we can solve it step by step in the board. Okay, so anyhow, so this is the practice problem. Later I will forward it to you. You can try it out. Right? You have a solution also written here. Okay, you can try it out and you can find out whether you will be getting those answers. Okay, if not, we'll discuss it right in the next class. Also, I may forward you the solution to this problem also. Okay, but see that you will be solving it on your own. Okay, because you will get practice to those numericals. Okay. The next topic we will move on to is nothing but annuity factor. right? So that is called as equal payment compound series compound amount factor. Okay, so here in this case we have a what we can say is derivation. So this derivation I will skip for the time being. Okay, so when you get the slide, anyhow the slides will be forwarded to you. You can see those derivations. Okay, so I will quickly move on to this cash flow diagram. Is that okay? Whether you want to go with the derivation, students?
We can go through it.
Okay, so you can go through it later. Okay, if you have any doubts in that, you can get back to me also in the next class. Okay, so for the time being, we will skip that derivation. Okay, and we will move with the compound interest formula, the next compound interest formula. Okay, so the next is nothing but equal payment series compound amount. Again, here it belongs to annuity, as I have said. So you can see from the cash flow diagram itself, right? All the characteristic relating to the annuity has been met here, right? So three characteristic, as I have told, that the first deposit occurs at the end of first year. So you have the year one value here, right? And the value of each deposit is same, that is A, right? Up to the last deposit. That is the second characteristic, right? The third characteristic is nothing but the deposit or the payment will be done continuously at the end of each year, right? There is no alternate years, right? You can see the deposit or the payment is done at the end of each year for a period of n years, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n, you have the deposit, and the value of the deposit is A. Okay, so that means the annuity factor characteristics have been met. Okay, so when you have a cash flow diagram of this nature, then you can use this formula, that is F is equal to A into 1 plus I whole to the power n minus 1 divided by I. So here this n is not clear, so it is n, okay, minus 1 divided by I. Okay, so I also it is not clear. Okay, so please make it is I. So here in this case, we will get to know the future value. Again, this F value we will be getting to know for this equal deposit which we are going to do. Okay, so I deposit, yeah.
Sir, if there is an investment at the end of the current year, like the 0th year, so what will be the formula then?
If it will be a 0th year, then you have to count how many deposit you have from 0th year only, right? Suppose if I have a arrow here at 0th year, okay, so I will be start counting my deposit value from 0 up to n or up to some n minus 1 period. Okay, anyhow, when we solve the problem, you will understand. Now, for the time being, you focus on this numerical. Okay, we have multiple problems relating to those cases. Okay, so if I tell you those concepts now, you may get into, you may have some confusions. Okay, so what we'll do is first we will study each of these types. Later on, we will solve some numericals. At that time, we'll get to know, right, what will happen if I go with the payment starting from 0th year up to nth year or up to n minus 1 years. Okay, so for the time being, we will go with these steps only. Okay, so here in this case, I will be getting to know the future value of the amount which I am going to start from year 1 up to year n. Okay, so every year I will be depositing equal amounts, and I want to know how much amount I will get at the end of year n. Say for example, if you consider insurance scheme, insurance policies, right? Every year you are going to pay the premium. Okay, so for that premium, say interest rate will be added. Okay, so after some years, after 10 years, your total insurance premium will get added added up, and you will be getting one consolidated amount after 10 years. So that value is nothing but the future value, and your annual insurance premium which you are going to
So you're not audible.
Students, any confusion whether anything happened? I guess there is a technical problem. Students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you
Yes.
re-explain from the insurance policy thing?
Okay. So say for example, or this particular formula can be used where you have the deposit to be equal, right, for some time period, and you want to know the value of this deposit at the end of that time period. Okay. So in the insurance policy or insurance premium case, right, we will be paying some amount, right, as an insurance premium, right, and that amount is same for every year. So suppose I will be paying some 17,000 yearly at the end of every year for 10 years, and I want to know how much amount I will get from that insurance policy, right, after 10 years. Okay, and the interest rate is fixed here, not floating interest rate. This fixed interest rate say 7% or 8%. So in that case, I will be using this equation, right? So 17,000 is my deposit. A is nothing but 17,000. 1 plus I whole to the power n minus 1. N is nothing but 10 deposit, because I will be doing the deposit from the first year up to year 10. Okay, divided by interest rate is 7%. Okay, so using that value or using this formula, I will be getting some consolidated future value after 10 years. So that means all the insurance premium which we will be paying from year 1 to year 10, collectively I will get some amount after 10 years. So that value is nothing but future value. Okay, provided the interest rate is say 7% or 8%. So in those cases, this equation will be used. Okay, symbolically it has been written as A into F by A I comma N. Again, F by A I comma N is called as equal payment series compound amount factor, and this value you can directly get from the interest factor table. Okay, so from this table you can directly get the value for this F by A. So here you have F by A. Here. Okay, so you have compound amount factor given F given A, right? So F by A. So for this factor values, you can directly substitute your annual amount and you can get the future value of the equal deposits or equal payment. Okay, so any confusion here? Okay, so
No, sir.
yeah, fine. So please look at this numerical. A man deposits $500 in a credit union at the end of each year for 5 years. Okay, so the credit union pays 5% interest compounded annually. At the end of 5 years, immediately after the fifth deposit, how much does the man have in his account? Okay, so before solving this, I want to make 2 points, okay, which you need to remember always. Okay, so the first point is when you go to calculate present value, right, or the present worth, as we did for the first formulas. Okay, so there the present worth always you will get 1 year before the deposit starts. Okay, so the present value of any amount you will get 1 year before the deposit starts. Okay, so that concept you need to remember, and we will solve some problems relating to that. You will
Excuse me,
get to
sir.
know. Yeah.
So I can't see the slides.
1 second. Once again, I will share the screen. Yeah, now can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I was talking about the two important points which we need to remember. The first thing is the present value of any amount you will get 1 year before the deposit starts. So that is one point which you need to remember. The second one is in the case of future value, right? So wherever you do the last payment, so there only you will get the future value. So here in this question, you can see that at the end of 5th year, immediately after the 5th deposit, right? So that means at the end of 5th deposit, he wants to know how much amount he will be having. Okay, here in this question they have given, but in some cases they won't tell you where you need to have. Okay, so that means wherever you have the last deposit, so there you will get the future value. Okay, so from there, if you want to move by another 5 steps, say 15th year is your timeline. So in that case, you have to again move it to the 15th year. Okay, so anyhow, these 2 points you need to remember. Okay, so we will solve numericals relating to these two concepts when we reach to that stage. Okay, so for the time being, we will focus for this numerical. Okay, so I want to convey it because here in this question they have given that immediately after the 5th deposit, the person wants to know how much amount he is having in his account. Okay.
So can you repeat the first point?
First point. Okay. First point is nothing but the present value of any deposit you will get 1 year before the deposit starts. Okay, so when you have equal payment series like this formula on that, like this cash flow, which like this cash flow, suppose instead of future value, if you want to calculate the value at time 0, okay, then here the value will be changing. Okay, so in such cases, your present value of the deposit you will get 1 year before the deposit starts. Okay, so that is the point, first point. Okay, the present value of the deposit you will get 1 year before the deposit starts.
Sir, this is because of year-end payments we consider, no?
Yeah, correct. This is because of year-end payments. Okay, any
Sir,
other
is
next?
the sir one doubt, sir?
Yeah,
Sir,
tell me.
sir, in the last payment we do, like the 15th year, we are doing the payment, we are doing the deposit, and on the 15th year also, we are getting the total amount back. So, is the interest is calculated in the last amount?
No, no interest will be added. Only you just deposit and you withdraw. It is a characteristic of that particular thing. Okay. For the last deposit, you just deposit and you withdraw at the same year.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So here, a man deposits $500 in credit union at the end of each year for 5 years. The credit union pays 5% interest compounded annually. At the end of 5 years, immediately after the 5th deposit, how much does the man have in his account? Okay. So this will be a cash flow diagram again. Okay. So here, I will draw it here. So what is the time frame? 5 years. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 5 years is my time frame, and a person is depositing some $500. The value of the deposit is same, and he deposits up to 5, right? So this value is A and its value is $500. Okay, interest rate is 5%, not 8%, 5%. Okay, and he wants to know what is the value or what amount is available in his account after the last deposit. So last deposit is 5th year. right? So here, how much amount? So I will represent it with an upward arrow because I may withdraw it. So that is why I have written it with an upward arrow. So it will be F5. Okay, so this value we need to calculate. Okay, again I repeat, in this question, a person will be depositing $500 every year, right? And he wants to know how much amount he will be getting at the year 5 when he do the last deposit. Okay, the institution or the credit union bank or financial institution gives 5% interest on this deposit. Okay, so in that case I will be using this equation where I need to calculate F at the year 5. Okay, A is nothing but the annual deposit, and you can use the symbolic representation also. Okay, I'll use a symbolic representation. So it will be F by A because I need to calculate F future value given the annual amount. So F will be always in the numerator and A will be denominator because I want to calculate F. Okay, given A, interest rate is 5% and the value of the deposit, right, or the number of deposits. Say you count the number of arrows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 5 will be deposits and the value is same. So that is why I counted like this. Okay, so 5 deposits and the value is $500. Okay, so that is why N is equal to 5. Okay, so this will be 500. So this will be some percentage. I guess I have written it here. Okay, so that is 5.526. Okay, so you will get some value. That is 2,763. Okay, so interest rate is 0.05. Don't take 5% in the sense 5. Okay, if you are going to use the formula, I will be 0.05. Okay, so that one thing you need to see when you calculate. Okay,
sir,
so,
I have just one question.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah,
here, it says that at the end of 5 years, immediately after the fifth deposit, how much does the man have in his account? So shouldn't he be charged interest only for the 4 years that he deposited because
no,
he is?
no, yeah, tell me,
That's what I'm asking. Like, we shouldn't charge interest for the last year, right?
No, for the last year there won't be any interest. So that's it. That's why.
So if you were to solve it by the formula, shouldn't n be equal to 4?
No. Actually, what I have done here is, since I have missed this particular, what we can say is the derivation. So that is why you people didn't get that particular point. So here in this derivation, if you see, okay, so all the payments, right, will be considered as a single payment. You just refer to this derivation again. Okay, so if you don't understand that concept, you can get back to me. I will help you out. Okay, so here, in this case, this is the cash flow diagram. Okay, so we have divided those cash flow diagram according to the payment. So you can see the one which I have given it in blue circles. Okay, so those are nothing but the payments which are occurring at each of the year. So its consolidated value is written as F1, F2, Fn minus 1 and Fn. So if you do that and see, okay, so here you can get to know what will be the value. Say for example here, okay, so here the last deposit will be A. If you can see here, it will be A. Okay, so collectively when you multiply and all other things, you will get this equation. You just go to the derivation again. Okay, so if you can understand it, well and good, or else you just let me know. Okay, you can just call me, or you can just put a mail, or you can just ask me in the next class also.
Oh, sir, as long as we get this, as long as I get the slides, I mean, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I will forward it. I will forward the slide once after this class. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So here, so you will be getting 2,763 amount. So that means if I deposit $500 every year for a period of 5 years, at the end of 5th year, I will be getting $2,763, provided the interest rate is 5%. Okay. So this is nothing but the inference. So there will be $2,763 in the account following the 5th deposit. Okay. So this will be, any doubts here? Okay, so next one. So this will be the last one. After that, we will stop. Okay, it is similar to the previous. So here, Formosa Plastic has major fabrication plants in Texas and Hong Kong. Okay, the president wants to know the equivalent future worth of $1,000 capital investment each year for 8 years, starting 1 year from now. Okay, Formosa Capital earns at a rate of 14% per year. Okay, so 14% is the interest rate. So here, in this question, the fabrication plant, which is Formosa Plastic. Okay, so the president wants to know what will be the future amount of this 1,000 capital investment. So every year from year 1, starting 1 year from now, okay, that is from 1st year up to 8 years, the company is depositing $1,000, okay, and he wants to know what will be the amount he is getting at the end of 8 years, right? And the financial institution gives 14% interest rate. Okay, so that is the question. So he wants to know the future value of the equal deposit of $1,000, okay, from year 1 to year 8. So this will be the cash flow diagram again. So from 0 you have 8, right, till 8 years is my time frame. So that's why I have marked the division, that is from 0 to 8. Okay, and I want to know the future value after 8 years. Interest rate is 14%, and the equal deposit value is $1,000. Okay. So this will be the cash flow. Use this equation, right, the same equation, or you use the compound interest factor table to get the value for F by I% for a period of N. Okay. So you substitute that value. So A is nothing but $1,000. F by A, interest rate is 14%. N is nothing but 8. You just count the number of deposit, number of arrows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that is why N is equal to 8, and all the values are equal. That is $1,000. So that is why A, okay, 1,000. Right. The compound interest value for F by A, 14% for a period of 8 is 13.2328. Is nothing but the factor value from the interest factor table. Okay. So multiply it with 1,000. So you will get 13,232.80 as the future value. Okay. So 13,232.80 is nothing but the consolidated sum of all $1,000 which the company deposits from the end of 1st year to 8 years. Okay. So consolidated sum of the amount $1,000 from year 1 to year 8, its consolidated value at the end of 8 years would be $13,232.80. Okay. So this is the consolidated future sum. So the president will get this amount after 8 years, provided the interest rate is 14%. Okay. Any confusion here? Students, any confusion?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So then the next type we can do it in the next class. It is similar to this type only. Only thing is, instead of future value, we will be calculating the annual value. Okay, so that we will look in the next class. So any confusion here? Were there any doubts?
No, sir.
No. Okay. And one thing, how the class will be here now, whether this is okay or whether you want me to use any other technology to explain you the concepts, whether you can follow this document and PPT side by side.
This is okay, sir.
This is okay, no? Okay. Because this is the one effective one. The other one is we will be having one EPAD and I will be writing that and it will be displayed on the screen. So I don't know how that works. Okay. But in both the cases, I trusted with both the cases, but both the cases will be having lag of 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Okay. But the more effective one looks like this. Okay. According to me, but it depends upon the faculty also again. Okay, so for some the other components of using the EPAD thing, that is also good, right? For me this is comfortable, but if you have any doubts or if you cannot follow this, then I can go with that also. So that is why I just wanted to ask the feedback. So this is okay, no? In that case, so shall we continue with this, or if you want me to try the other one? Students?
Sir, no issues.
No issues, no? Okay. Okay, fine. So then we will continue with this only, right? So if in case if you don't follow or if the clarity, image clarity is not clear, then you please let me know. Okay, so I can try with different media. So then if you don't have any doubts, we will stop for today. Okay. So there is no link again here. So I am not going to share any link like I do for the previous, like I have did for all the previous classes. Okay, so today there won't be any link. Okay, so this PPT I will be sharing it with you. Okay, so later on. Okay, once after I ask the permission. Okay, so all the previous 3 slides you have received, I guess, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then fine. So this slide I will forward it to you. Okay, so please work it out. Okay, any confusion you can put a mail to me. Okay, so anyhow, if you don't have any doubts, any clarifications here in this, so I can end this meeting. Is that okay? Hello?
Will we be having
Yes,
the
sir.
quiz next class?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Will we be having the quiz next class?
I think so. I guess it has been conveyed to you, no?
Yes, sir. It was given in the date. So what will be the portion? Like till where? Today's lecture?
Yeah, till today's lecture, I guess it is excluding your annual work. F is equal to A. That won't be there, I guess.
Okay, sir.
Okay, anyhow, I will let you know about this. Okay, so probably it will be up to single payment. I'm not very sure again. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. So any doubts, any questions? Fine. So I don't think there is any doubts. Okay, then we shall end this meeting. So we will meet again on Wednesday. Okay. So I will end this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.